My name is Armando Hinojosa.
Same thing?
Well, I started doing art. Actually, as far as I can remember, I've been doing art when I was in high school. I used to draw for my friends all the time. And then my father came from Mexico when he was 13 years old. He was a commercial artist. And in high school, I used to help him out because after school, we would go to the highways. And at that time, the billboards were actually painted. They weren't glued on. So I would spend most of my time with my dad. I didn't like lettering. He used to do lettering and everything else. I didn't like that. And then after that, I went to college. I went to Texas A&M University because my father was at education. You have to get an education. Even if you like art, get an education. So I went to A&M University in Kingsville, and now it's Texas A&M. But I was there, and I started painting, and I liked it. But at that time in the 60s, it was all modern art. Squares, lines, I didn't like that. I did realistic stuff. I used to like the paintings like they had in the Renaissance, that type of work. So I used to paint my own. When I graduated from there, when I graduated, I had to have a one-man show. So I told my professor, well, Armando, what are you going to do? I'm going to do what I like to do. Well, you have to have your one-man show or else you won't graduate. So I went to I used to have an apartment with some other friends, and I painted a bunch of paintings there, and they were all realistic. I had my one-man show as a senior, and when it was up, they came and saw it. They told me, you know what, you got to take it down because we're not teaching that kind of art. So I took it down, but they gave me my diploma. After that, I started doing, I knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to do art. So I taught school for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and I was teaching math. I had a degree in art, but there was no openings in art. So I taught in Mission, Texas, then I taught in Laredo. And then most of my teaching career was mostly in Laredo. But I started doing art shows. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, there were art shows all over the state of Texas. Every weekend there was an art show. My wife and I, we had 3 kids. We would go to art shows, put the kids under the table. We had paintings, and that's how I started. And I started to like it. Then at one time I said, I want to do some sculpture. And they told me about Larry. I came over here, that was 45 years ago. And I did a little small one. And then I started getting commissions for sculpture. My first big commission that I did in sculpture was in Corpus Christi, Texas. If you go on Ocean Drive, it's called a Twin Dolphin Condominium. So it's 2 life-size dolphins that are coming out of the water. It's beautiful. Then after that, I did one for Laredo. They wanted me to do something because Laredo is known as the biggest port in the United States, import in the United States. So they told me do something. So I designed a charro with a hat and a horse, and a vaquero with a hat and his horse, and they were drinking coffee. That was cast here at Larry's also. And the name of that one was Between Friends, There's No Borders. And that time everything was peaceful. Oh, I did the Double Eagle. Yeah. You weren't here with it? No, it was a huge sucker. I mean, it was big. We did it here at Larry's, and then it's SeaWorld. SeaWorld closed. Well, I did SeaWorld, and I did Admiral Chester Nimitz, a hero of Navy in World War II. And then SeaWorld closed, or they were sold to Budweiser, so they kept the eagles, because Budweiser is represented by eagles. And then after that, they told me that they had moved all the sculptures. I don't know where to put them, but they're not there anymore. Well, I've done a bunch, but I'm just going to tell you the ones that are favorite to me. I did the Tejano Monument, which is in Austin. That's the biggest sculpture group in any state capital. It's got 11 pieces, and I liked it. And those were cast here at this foundry also. And were you here when we were doing that? Yeah, he was here. I remember. Nowadays, I go to Austin and I look at all the pieces. Did I do those? I don't know how I could have done all those because it took me like a couple of years more than that. And then after that, I did the Founders Monument here, which is the Canary Islanders. And I did that. Dr. Chiscano, who's the one, he already passed away from cancer, but he also says he was from the Canary Islanders. Everybody thinks that San Antonio was born after the Alamo. We have been here for many, many years, the Canary Islanders. So those are the ones that brought the people here. When they were here, there were only Indians and missions and everything else. So we did that, and that was cast here also. And as a matter of fact, the most popular bronze of the Founders Monument is the Native American that I have there. Everybody likes that one. But that was quite a thing, and I liked it. I also have done a sculpture for the Boy Scouts of America. That's in the part, the Boy Scout camp in Laredo, Texas, where I come from. That's there. I also have done, let me see what else. I know there's one. I did it in the church. Laredo was founded in 1755, and they built a cathedral there. And it burned down. They rebuilt it again, so it's not the original one. But I did an altar there, and that was cast here. It's just an altar with angels, and everybody loves it. I mean, that was just a bunch of angels that was cast here also. I also did a tomb for the Jordans in Laredo, which is a little boy that was studying in France. He was there. He would write letters to his girlfriend, beautiful girlfriend, and everything else. They were real happy. One time they went to France to study. He was late, and he crossed the railways underground, crossed one side to the other side, got electrocuted. He died in the rails. They took a long time to bring him back, and I did an angel, St. Michael the Archangel, which is lying down because it couldn't be standing up. So he's lying down holding a scroll. And that scroll it has the letter that he sent to his girlfriend, that you should be here, everything is so beautiful and everything else. So that one is there. I've done a bunch of those, I can't remember anything. As a matter of fact, Dr. Chiscano, the one that was in charge of doing the Founders Monument, he was from the Canary Islands. He said, we have to do something for Judge Wolf. I said, well, who is Judge Wolf? Well, he's our court judge. He said, well, let's meet. If you want to, I'll go meet. We met with him, and he and his wife were, are you sure? Yeah, we want to do it. So we have to raise some funds. So they raised some funds, and that was fine. So that's where it started. But the main thing about Dr. Chiscano is that he wanted to do the Canary Islanders, and he pushed it real hard. And we finished it. About 6 months later, he passed away from cancer. He was already sick, but he had to see it. So thank God we finished it before he passed. But this one, we've been working with it, and it's real nice, and I hope the judge likes it. But it's gonna be in the River Walk. Can I tell you? I think it's gonna be. Well, we're gonna install it tomorrow, which is what day is tomorrow?
The 22nd of February.
The 22nd of February, and it's gonna be available March the 8th. But we're gonna install it tomorrow. It's gonna be covered. It cannot be seen by anybody except the foundry and when we're installing it. But it's gonna be unveiled on March the 8th. Hope to invite everybody to be there. Yeah, yeah. But I tell you, Adam, you know, I do sculpture, everything else, but if it wasn't for people like you guys, I can do it, but I can't make it in bronze. The foundry is very, very important. I mean, we couldn't do anything without foundry people. And you guys devote you, and it's hard work. It's hard work, and it's dangerous work. You breathe all this stuff, and it's very dangerous. But without you guys, all the sculptures anywhere, it wouldn't be any without the people of the foundry. So it's a 50% job. I do the art, and you put the art together. It's very, very important. I appreciate what you do.